Welcome back to Mystical Tarot. So today we're going to be doing a deck review. It's actually two decks. One is an Oracle deck and one is a Tarot deck, but they're made by the same creator. I actually got them in a bundle together, which was really neat. And I absolutely have to say they blew my mind. They definitely their expectation, the deck itself went above my expectations. We'll put it that way. So what we're going to be reviewing today is the Journey of the Sacred Bee Tarot and the Wisdom of the Sacred Bee Oracle. So you can buy these on Etsy. I will have a link in the description box below to the site for the creator of the deck. The creator is Kelly Burton. And they can be bought individually or they can be bought as a set. And I'm really, really glad I bought them together. I was not sure at first, but there was a deal going on. So I did buy both together. They both costed about $90 US. So it was a little pricey, but I actually am quite impressed, and I'm kind of glad that I made that investment. So I'm going to go over the tarot first. So I'll move the oracle out of the way. So the Journey of the Sacred Bee, the box is beautiful. It comes in a nice magnetic box, nice and sturdy for your cards. Has a beautiful little pull-up so you can get your cards out of there without trying to dig in there and bend them. And it does come with a little white book that apparently wanted to fly at me. So it goes over the card. It goes over the information. It's just very basic. But it also has in here too a lot of different things at the back. In here, let me go here. So it talks about sacred geometry. These cards are very geometrically designed, and you'll see that. And so it kind of goes over the how they're used. Also I'm going to pronounce it wrong, the Kabbalah. And if I'm wrong, just hit me. So it also talks about the creator and why they created them a certain way, like the dimension of the deck and stuff like that. So it's really interesting because you really get to understand what the author had intended for the deck, which is wonderful. And it gives you that extra insight into, the heart and soul of the creator. The energy of these cards is just amazing. I mean, as soon as I opened them up, I could feel the energy coming off them. It was beautiful. It's wonderful. And I love the quote inside of here. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That is one of my favorite quotes. So when I opened it and saw that, I was just really excited. But the deck box is great. The cards themselves are beautiful. So the tarot deck got this turquoise edging on them, which is really nice. And then if you look in the light, it has the two bees, and you can see that they kind of glow, which is based on the light. And I hope the camera's picking that up. That is just beautiful. And then you can see the geometric shapes and everything like that with them too. The cardstock is pretty nice. It's actually very, very nice. So it's thick but thin. It's malleable. It's easy to bend. It's easy to not bend in the way of breaking, but easy to, hold, carry. It's got this matte finish on them that's just beautiful. I mean, these cards just shuffle like butter, and I absolutely love it. I'll show you that at the end. The cards themselves are very, very interesting. So they are definitely not Rider-Waite style. They do not follow that pattern. So this is a deck that's definitely a little bit more interesting to use, a deck that you can learn a lot more about, and a deck that does a lot more with the intuitive side of reading. So for the major arcana, what's nice is they have the element, but they also have the Hebrew letter attached to it based on I'm going to pronounce it again wrong, the Kabbalah. I don't really know anything about the Kabbalah. I'm going to be honest. I've studied a little bit in the Tree of Life, but I haven't gotten very much into it. These almost remind me of more of a Thoth-based tarot deck, because it does have some of the additional esoteric symbols and stuff inside of them. But they are just beautiful. I absolutely think these cards are just stunning. The artwork is kind of like a mixture of collage, mixed media type of artwork, but it's just bright. The colors are just very, very, out there for you. It has the symbolism inside of them, which is just beautiful. The colors themselves really reflect the feeling of the card or how the card should feel, which I love. It gives that other depth to the card. So the Temperance card in this deck is called Alchemy. So it is a little bit different, but not too different. But it's just stunning. I love the artwork for this deck. And then for each of the minor arcana, the ace is called the root of powers of fire, earth, air. And they are just beautiful. What's interesting about these is when you look at it, you can see that it's the Two of Wands. It does have an abbreviation down here, 2W. It has a keyword. It has the astrological symbols in it too. So you really just down here gives you the whole detail of the card, which is nice. I don't particularly like keywords on my cards, and some of the keywords that are on these cards I don't actually agree with. That I don't think that they're the best keywords for the cards themselves, but that's the only, con I have to these cards, is that I just do not agree with some of the idea or the words that are at the bottom. And I'm just not a keyword person. I have a few decks that do have keywords, but I just don't like them in particular. This deck does have, instead of knaves or pages, it has princesses. So it has the princess, knight, queen, and king. So it does go kind of more of that Thoth base again for that. The imagery, though, I do love it. I just think it's bright. It's stunning. It really brings you in. You can really see, there's a lot of details to it. And if you're into sacred geometry, I'm sure there's a lot more additional symbolism within that itself. I am not very versed on sacred geometry, so I don't want to go into that, because I would literally just not know where to start with that. But they are just beautiful. They're they're really different. I find this deck to be different than most decks that I pick up. And like I said, I wasn't sure I was going to like it at first, especially when I was like, oh, Journey of the Sacred Bee. What's that? I didn't even know what it was. And there was like 2 or 3 pictures, and I was like, okay, well, that doesn't help me very much. And so I actually went into the reviews, and I saw people leaving pictures and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I do like this deck. Let me give it a shot, see what happens. If I don't like it, then I just don't like it. But it is wonderful, and I really love it. The cards, they shuffle so beautifully. This is a deck that I could just sit around and shuffle all day and be totally okay with it, because they just shuffle so well. Unless the operator errors on it. They can do any kind of shuffling that you're looking to do. So they're very versatile. They're great. They feel wonderful when they're sliding. They're just very, very nice cards. And they just slide. I mean, they just feel like a dream. So they are great, and I love them. And I definitely will be using them in the future for readings. So that's the tarot deck. Now the oracle deck is called The Wisdom of the Sacred Bee Oracle. Now this is a very interesting oracle, and I really enjoy it so far. So it comes in another box still. So this one's in purple, and it does have purple edging all around it. I just thought about the cardstock of these reminds me of the Beautiful Creatures second edition. It's that same cardstock, except the cards are a lot smaller than that. That's exactly what this cardstock is. So if you have that deck, or you've seen that deck, or you felt that deck, that's exactly what this is. The oracle here is split up between the different elements. So you have fire, water, air, earth, and aether or spirit. It does have a few different readings that you can do. It goes up once again into that sacred geometry. And then each, there's different cards. So you have 3 cards in this deck that are called the Lineage Cards, and it's the Queen, the Drone, and the Worker. So they don't go into the elements as the other ones do. And then each of these is broken down between the elements. So each card has a keyword, and then it has a description in here of what it means. It also explains the picture itself and how it was designed, which is really neat. And it just it gives you an idea of what the cards mean, and they're based on the different suits that they're in also. So it's really neat. The deck, like I said, this guidebook is very informative. Really gives you an idea of what you're looking at in the picture. It gives you an understanding of the card itself and what you're looking at, or what, the wisdom of it is. And so that's what's really nice. It's made out of the same cardstock as the tarot, and it is almost as big as tarot. As you can see, I have been using these already. So the purple edging is getting a little dinked up already, because I do like these. I think these are going to end up being one of my go-to tarot decks, because there's so many cards and so many different options in here. But they're just beautiful. So you have each card, and it has, like I said, just the information on the card, gives you a keyword. But the book really, if you want to do it intuitively, you can. If you want to go to the book and seek the guidance that it has for the card, you can do that also, which is awesome, because there's just a lot of different abilities with these. These cards work great for any type of reading. I've practiced with them, using them on general readings, spiritual readings, and career and finance. I'm sure they would do great on love readings too. So they're versatile, which is great. I have a lot of oracle decks that are very targeted to certain things, like either they're spiritual decks or they're based on archetypes, stuff like that. And so these are nice because they literally, you can use these to pull a card of the day, because there's just so much variety in these cards, which is very, very nice to have. It's a great deck to have, just to have that variety in there. And it does really just stand out. It's very beautiful. And I love the designs. They're different, but they're just beautiful. And I'm a sucker for colors, and I just love the colors that are on these cards. They're just amazing. I said I was very pleasantly surprised with the oracle and the guidebook in these decks. Like I said, these are the same size. They are a little bit larger than your average tarot card. As you can see, they are a little bit bigger. However, because of the quality of the paper and stuff, even with my small hands, I don't really notice that they're that much bigger, because they just shuffle very nicely. And And you can shuffle them overhand, underhand, whatever you like to do. But they are just great. So this is the Sacred Bee, Wisdom of the Sacred Bee Oracle. And this is the Tarot of the Sacred Bee. So please let me know what you think about these decks, or if there's any questions you have about the decks or anything like that. Let me know in the comments below. I will happily answer your questions. I will post a link to the seller's webpage in the description box. And then also, if you are looking to maybe get a reading done with one of these decks, you can also visit my webpage, which is linked down below, to get signed up for a reading with me, a one-on-one reading. And let me know if you want to use the deck. Please, if you do like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you can get more of my videos as they come available. And thank you all, and I hope you guys have a blessed week. Thank you.